Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Right. Good morning, Katipuneros. A blessed day to all of you tuned in. And thank you again for tuning in to our Monday episode of the Jesuit Hour Vocation Promotions Edition. As always, before we introduce our Father for today, we begin our episode with a short reflection and prayer. And so we begin. The suffering, death, and resurrection of Jesus prove that God loves us. Though humanity individually and as a whole had rejected and continues to reject God's love, it has not been abandoned. The Father sent the Son to redeem the world, and the Holy Spirit continues His work, opening hearts to accept the salvation that Christ won for them. St. Paul wrote, "Hope does not disappoint, because the love of God has been poured out into our hearts through the Holy Spirit that has been given to us. For Christ, while we were still helpless, yet died at the appointed time for the ungodly. Indeed, only with difficulty does one die for a just person, though perhaps for a good person, one might even find courage to die. But God proves His love for us, in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." The love of God, the Holy Spirit in our hearts, moves us to share in the ongoing work of salvation. And not everyone knows and has accepted this love of God. Our prayers and interactions with people help us to know and accept Jesus. And as it says in the Catechism of the Catholic Church, quoting the Council of Kiersey in 853, says, "There is not, never has been, and never will be a single human being for whom Christ did not suffer." And Jesus, we offer ourselves today for the salvation of all, so that your death would not be in vain. All right. So good morning, Katipuneros. I'd like to introduce our Jesuit for today as someone who was actually part of my own vocation story, like a good number of Jesuits that I've guested here. And when I first met him, I was actually a candidate discerning my vocation in our Viso house, and actually it was a big surprise that I met him. And probably because he was both the first Jesuit that I met who graduated from the same course I did. So he also graduated management engineering before. And he's also a Jesuit whose vocation story probably helped confirm my own. So I leave more introductions to him as we go along. But for now, please help me welcome our guest for today. At mahaba po yung pangalan niya, no? Father Joseph Raymund Patrick Sanchez, no? O si Father Weyms of the Society of Jesus.
Yes,
So welcome, Father Weyms.
Yes, salamat. Good morning. Good morning sa mga nakikinig, and good morning.
Good morning,
and thank
Father.
you for bringing me here. I guess it's my first time here. Yeah.
Malayo po yung binyahe namin.
Okay. Yes, that's right.
Nakakatawa talaga. So Father, allow me to go straight into the questions.
Okay, sure, yes.
In broad strokes, actually, what are you doing right now?
Right now I just came back from Singapore. I just finished my studies in leadership and educational change, and I am on my way, and will begin to work at our school in Ateneo in Iloilo.
Yes.
And it still remains to be seen how it's gonna be. But so far, that's what I've been doing. Like since ordination, I spent 3 years in East Timor.
Yes.
Again, it's also the educational apostolate. We put up a school, and then I also helped in running our junior and senior high school, which is also new schools in Timor. And then after that, I went for tertianship in the US, and then came back in 2017, and I spent half a year in Culion.
You were also in Culion.
Yes, a very nice experience. My first time actually to stay in Culion, to be in Culion, and it was a very refreshing experience for me.
Off topic, Father. Were you able to see some monkeys there?
In Culion? No.
But these big lizards.
Big lizards?
I heard kasi there were.
No. Because I was in the school most of the time. Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, my work was mainly with the school because we had given up already the parish.
Yes.
So I did not really have the opportunity to go around much on the island. But I was able to also visit other places in Palawan. I think that makes the experience rewarding.
Oh, heaven and earth.
Yeah. That's
Grabe
right.
yung linaw ng tubig sa Culion.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
It's really amazing.
Really beautiful place.
Yes. Wow, it's memories, because I was also partly was this. Actually, Father Chester years back, he was supposed to have some guests also. But I think his guest backed out, so I heard about it and I said, Father, can I be your plus one na lang? So I was able to visit
the place of the guest. Okay.
I was able to go to Culion.
Okay.
And
This was when you were a candidate.
Yes, I was already an incoming novice back then.
Okay.
So I didn't have any time. I mean, I didn't have anything to do. I spent some vacations going there.
Very good. Yeah.
But going back,
Yes, sure. Yes.
So you were mostly in the educational ministry. For the longest time.
Yes. Because before I joined the Jesuits, I was really into the educational apostolate. I've taught for a long time at the Ateneo High School. I taught fourth year math, advanced algebra and trigonometry, and so it seems like I will be in the educational apostolate of the society, because of that's where I came from, and maybe that's where I'm supposed to remain. And so far that's always been my assignments has always been in schools in East Timor, in Culion, and now in Iloilo.
Wow. So one of our educators par excellence.
No.
Just kidding. Educators for long.
Yeah, for life.
Now, we were talking the other day, parang I probably die here. In the educational
Maybe. We don't know that. But
only God knows.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So, another question related to that, no, Father, since you've already mentioned many of your ministries before in Jesuit works, I was just curious, also being a graduate of management engineering before.
Yes.
Were you able to use any of the things you...
Management engineering, maybe not. No. But no, I mean, for me naman kasi, I think whenever you take a certain academic program, it's really not the content that matters, no, but the frame of mind that it gives you. No? And for example, like in management engineering, I think it trains us to see the details and to make decisions based on details and how they are related with each other. And I also had the opportunity to do an MBA at the University of the Philippines.
You did.
And I think it helped me also to be a little more decisive. Maybe so. I think the ME and the MBA helps, no? Because I think running a school, although it's a school, requires knowledge of education, but it also requires some knowledge and skills in management, which I think every administrator must have to be able to really run the school well. So that's why I tell people, or I tell my students that whenever, that we should take advantage of every opportunity that comes our way, because we do not know how the Lord will call us to serve Him in the future. And like this ME and this MBA, when I took this course, I mean, I never really, thought I'd be using it in my administrative work. I never really also imagined myself being an administrator. But I just took it, I mean, because I don't know, but that's how it happened, and I'm fortunate and blessed to have these experiences that help me with the challenges that I have to face as a school administrator.
So it's really more of the discipline that the ME is taught.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Even like, for example, philosophy, we all have to go through philosophy. And sometimes we ask why, and but I think philosophy also has really helped me change the way I teach math, because it opens a different kind of thinking that I think helps us gain more perspectives and a better picture of what reality really is. So.
Wow. It's really an eye-opening. So in short, God can really use anything.
Yes,
despite,
that's right.
Despite your course, you can still be assigned to education.
You'll never know. You'll never know really, how you can use all these in the future. So, kaya nga siguro, that's why in our spirituality, we aim for excellence. Excellence really not to be number one, but really to have a mastery of things that can help us understand the world better and help us manage and work with experiences and events better, because, you have the discipline, you have the know-how that these studies have afforded you.
Well said, like school administrator. Praktisado na, Father. But it's a good insight, actually.
Yes.
Right in our current world, it's really a difficult context that we live in right now.
That's right. Yes.
You really have to be open to many things, especially how God would continue to communicate to each of us.
That's right. Yes.
So I guess it's very good that actually in this case, it's a grace that even if you started out from ME, wow, I'm an educator now. Really, and I never really imagined myself to be an educator.
Siguro my experience in education started as an accident when I joined the Jesuit Volunteers.
I
was after college. I mean, it's for management engineering graduates, so it's normal for us to go to the corporate world and like during that time go to Procter and Gamble or some other big companies, multinational, and then. But I went to I joined the Jesuit Volunteers, and I was sent to teach, in Mindanao, and and I did not have any training in teaching, and but it really opened a new world for me, and it's an experience that parang. I was called to be a teacher, and I said, buti na lang I did not take my math that seriously, but at least,
Amen.
At least I had a good grasp of the basic principles of mathematics that helped me to be a math teacher, So, sabi ko, kaya nga I always tell my students, sige lang, you just do your best in whatever experience that comes your way, because you'll never know how you're gonna use it in the future.
I was thinking of my own experience also during Arbiso House.
Yes.
Because I had the same situation when of course I came from a corporate background.
Okay.
I knew things related to ME.
Yes.
But they asked me to teach. And not even math.
Religion.
How are you going to grade? If students say, "I love God." Is it something real? Bola lang ba to? But I digress. It's really something eye-opening also in terms of the way that I relate with myself, with the world. And probably it's a very interesting experience.
Yes.
But you also mentioned, Father, about the JVP, so that's part of your origin story. No?
Yes.
I want to ask more about that. And in that, how did you end up in your current assignment?
My current assignment.
In other words, parang the education ministry.
Yeah, well, yes.
Large.
I credit JVP for that the ending up in our education apostolate, because as I've said, when I was taking management engineering, the vision really, I see myself really working in the corporate world, but because actually, I joined the JVP because I wanted to go to Mindanao. I haven't been to Mindanao. And then there was this picture of a group of guys. They were on a ship and they were on their way to Mindanao. Sabi ko, parang exciting ang buhay nito, no? So, and I actually we took a ship to go to Mindanao. Parang talagang sumakay kami ng barko to go to Mindanao. And nung sinabi nga that I will be teaching, parang I said, parang I didn't know how to react, no? I mean, it's not that I did not reject it, neither was I very excited about it, because I didn't have any idea about teaching, and I struggled also in Mindanao, no? But aside from living in a new place and also having to speak the dialect, and and it's my first time to live outside
of home,
and be independent and all. I think I also struggled with teaching itself.
Oh.
Yeah, and I remember, no, nag-away pa kami ng mga estudyante namin. They wanted me out of the school. The nerve of these students. But yeah, but I think I made a lot of mistakes also. But at the end of the year, I just felt that it is something that I am being called to. So even if I am not trained to be a teacher, I went into teaching. When I went back to Manila, I bumped to a Jesuit friend. He has passed on. He invited me to teach. And I said, brother Don. I said, brother, yeah.
Si Brother Don.
Yes, Brother Don. So sabi ko, what subject? He says, it's English. I go, brother, I'm a management engineering graduate, so I don't know anything about English. He says, just come and see, and you just apply. So I applied, and there were three of us. I guess, ako siguro pinakamatino sa tatlo, but I'm not really, So, yeah. And they got me, and I remember even that the head of the English department, Mrs. Cheeky, had to go to my house to convince my parents to allow me to teach, because they were really against teaching. It's not something. For my dad, it wasn't a real job. It was just like playing around, and eventually I chose it, and I. At the time, we say 1 year lang. Okay, one more year, until that one more year, tumagal, and then I also worked with the bank. I worked with Citibank for a year just to find out if baka naman it's really the corporate world that I'm being called to work to engage the corporate world and not education, not the school. So I left and worked with Citibank, but I went back. I went back and eventually stayed on. And I guess it's because of the years that I've spent in our schools that it's the logical course is for me to continue on in the education apostolate. So I guess it's just that, that I've spent so many years in the teaching apostolate. That's it. Yeah.
So it's I thought of a good insight maybe listening to your story, Father, and I was thinking, ito yung kwento na nauna yung yung inaasam nung tao kesa parang the desire comes first before the competency.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about desires. I didn't know any. It's just that following something. I mean, I didn't know where it would take me. I didn't know also what I needed to be to be a good teacher, and I must admit, I mean, I had to learn the difficult way. I had to take subjects in education. I had to commit mistakes to be able to, really learn the ropes of what it means to be a good teacher. Yeah.
So it's
not that I'm a good teacher.
How many years already?
Yeah. I hope so.
From the stories of our friends there in the junior high school and high school before. I think I'm starstruck, Father. So a bit of a shout out to them if any of you are listening now.
Yes, I'd like
Hello
to say
our
hi
friends.
to the friends in the high school where I used to, and the grade school too. I also taught in the grade school. I taught grade 7 for a while teaching in the high school. Yes, so the people in the basic education, the grade school, high school, I know a number of them, and I'd like to greet everyone. Kamusta?
All right. Yeah. It's not every day that Father Weyms is back again here.
Yeah, that's right.
After a long period of absence.
Yeah.
I was just remembering when I was also asked to teach there, you were telling stories about you. Like a legend.
I hope good stories.
Si Father Weyms, miss namin yan eh. Talaga. Sabi ko, sino si Father Weyms? I haven't met you. I haven't met you yet during that time. So
okay.
Oh, but I guess they remembered you also because of me. Because as I said, we graduated from the same course.
Yes, yeah.
And then they saw me how I did my preps before as a teacher.
Okay.
Very meticulous, very long prepare.
Very Emmy.
The way that you prepare reminds us of Father Weyms.
Oh so my. Yes. Yeah.
Hey, so but I digress. No?
Yeah.
So
that's okay.
Given your stories in ministry right now,
yes,
I guess you have maybe a lot of experiences in the education ministry, no? Mm-hmm. Are there any experiences or maybe insights or both that kind of stand out for you since you started serving as an educator, no, in our schools and maybe even in the missions?
Yes. For me, I think what is very consoling about the experience of teaching is that you see that everything indeed works towards the good. Because I've met a lot of students really problem talaga. You don't know what to do, and at some point you'd like to give up on them, but you cannot give up on them because that is our call as educators, to really try to nurture them as much as we can in our own capacity. And sometimes you feel that you haven't done much, but when you see them again in the future, you see them having good lives, and you see them being good fathers and good husbands, and and then you see them when they were in high school. Grabe talaga, no? And you say, really, indeed everything works towards the good, and it really it's something that you can hold on. That could be the foundation of a hope that you have for the future, no? And it reminds me that that our work, we do our best, but really it's really by the grace of God what these people become. And I have seen that, and I've seen many cases, and I think that's the grace and the blessing that the Lord has given me as a teacher who has been in teaching for so many years, that you cannot give up on people, that indeed they will one day they become better, really.
One image comes to mind, Father, the image of the gardener.
Yeah.
You plant the seed, and you're not even sure if the seed will grow.
Yes.
But as you said, you cannot give up. You cannot give up on the seed. You just keep watering however you can, whatever you can give to the seed, and then and trust.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, to believe really, that the grace of God will do wonders on people, and I mean, it's beyond you. I mean, you cannot control things, but you just allow things to take place, and with the hope and the trust that the Lord will work on these people as well,
especially on people. Very,
and
very
you
different.
also I mean, it changes
Myself,
you as well. Yes, that's right. All these experiences, when I look back also, I mean, one of my other consoling experiences when I look back and see myself now right now, and I tell people that I am happy with who I am, and I say it's because of these experiences, mainly as a teacher, and kahit na maraming problema, even you don't get paid well, you have to struggle and
Actually,
all.
that's true.
But if you see yourself, if you see who you are right now, and you're happy with who you are right now, and that you are a product of these major experiences of teaching that you have had, for me, I think it's another consoling experience, another grace moment for me to see that person that I am, and the person that the kids become, and all this by the grace of God. Really. Yeah.
It's a ministry of what's the word? Ministry of the Interior. Parang government agency.
Yes.
Like what I mean is Ministry of the Interior.
Yes.
Parang it's very. I'm coming from maybe the corporate world, rather. And I said the word especially about people earlier, because that's the thing. When you, for example, have a project related to money, or maybe a construction site, it's very easy to control the factors.
That's right.
Variables. Maybe you prepare for them.
That's right.
But when it comes to people, Father,
you cannot. You cannot control. I mean, and then you cannot control people. You can just assist them, help them, but in the end, you just allow them to grow the way they should.
Yes.
So mahirap din, no? Because syempre we also have the sense of control. And especially if you're a teacher, sometimes there's the tendency, because you exercise authority over these kids, and you can easily fall into the trap of controlling their lives and making them do whatever you want them to do. But it's not really that. It's really allowing them to discover who they are, and to assist them to be the best that they are, the God has wanted them to be.
Yes. I think the right word also came to me just now. Humanity, a ministry of being human, a good human person.
Yeah, that's right.
And especially now in this age, Father, and I'm sure you you will encounter this, no? Right now is the age of Google, and so pretty much when we talk about passing on information to kids, no?
That's right.
I don't think it's our ministry.
Yes,
but,
that's right.
Google can do that, but
exactly. Yes.
Everything though about meaning, about things that the essentials of their life, their spirituality, maybe their goodwill as people. That's where we go.
And I think you said it, no? I think it's really helped them find meaning in their lives, and also aside from finding meaning in their lives is for people to feel acknowledged, for them to feel that yes, I acknowledge your existence, and that you are somebody to me. You are an entity as far as I'm concerned, no? And that I am here to help you find meaning in your life by for you to answer the call, maybe to the vocation that has been there all along.
Yes. And I was thinking, grabe, Father, ready na kayo sa
Di pa. I need prayers too. I need
Yes.
prayers. Yes.
That's also one of my last questions before we go on break. No?
Okay, sure. Yes.
And you mentioned you were incoming school administrator in Ateneo de Iloilo.
Yes, that's right.
And,
yes.
Many of your friends are already bidding you,
Yeah.
all the
wishing
best.
me- Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Parang good riddance, mga ganun. Joke lang.
Yeah, no problem. No
But
problem. Yes.
what's this? How are you going with that? No, how are you? Do you feel ready, or how are you with the next assignment?
Actually, it hasn't really sunk into me. I just finished studies and parang hindi. I'm in transition, and I haven't really transitioned into the new assignment. But I'm not in a hurry also to transition. Not that I don't want to take it seriously, but I just feel that, at one point, because it's not really, for me, it's not really what you do that matters. I think at one point in your life, in our Jesuit life, you start focusing on why you do it rather than what you do. That I have been in education. I can be a teacher. I can be an administrator. I could be a supervisor. I could be I don't know. I could be anything in a school. No? So I guess what is important is not really what you do, but why you do it. No? That we are here. This is a ministry that is entrusted to us because we want to nurture people, and nurture people. In the end, the truth that we want them to realize is the truth of God, and how to do that is, I think, what occupies you, what occupies us. So it's not really what to teach or what do I have to do this, no, but really more of to remind ourselves constantly that what we do, what we are doing is really more of a response to a call, a response to a love that we have experienced. That's why we go on retreat, no? To remind ourselves of that. No? We go on retreat every year, because we can't forget that, and
That's true.
I'd like for that to be at the top of my mind when I enter into this new ministry, and I know I will forget, and I just pray that this will be a constant theme as I move on into my new assignment.
Come to think of it, Father, no? If you think that life is a response,
Yes.
that life is in a way a relationship, and you're just responding to God.
Yes.
And preparations doesn't seem too heavy. It
that's
become
right.
the
yes.
point.
And it will come. What to do, it will come.
Yes.
In fact, you will also make mistakes and all. But pero kung pinanghahawakan mo that why you do it, that I do this because, like for example, I can say I do this because I want people to experience the Christ that I have met. Then it sustains you, no? And then, so pang inisip mo, like for example, when I relate with teachers, hindi ko lang gusto na for them to be good teachers, no? But really to be good persons, really, that it's not what they can do really, but who they become, that really matters in the end, no? But of course, no, you also have to take note also of all these technicalities also. No? Pwede namang hindi, di ba? But I think what is important is you are able to see more. Yeah. There's more to it. There's something deeper, I think.
Part and parcel ng response.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Father, thank you so far for the beautiful insights about your ministry. Grabe. Hanggang ngayon. I was inspired then. I'm still inspired now. So, we'll just take a short break. But I guess before we begin our break, a short announcement from the Vocation Promotions team of the Society of Jesus. So, if you're interested in learning the art of discernment and discerning life-changing choices, possibly life-changing choices in your life, we have a talk called Options, no? And it's a talk on discerning life choices. This talk is on April 24, 2019 at Metro Walk. There's a Corion Cafe, so it's a good venue there. Corion Cafe, Metro Walk, Ortigas Center, Pasig City. The talk is from 6 to 9 p.m. No? So after work on a Wednesday, if you're interested in going and just relaxing, maybe eating, listening to a good talk, and this might be for you. It's open, free admission to young male single Catholic professionals who are very interested in learning the art of discernment. So again, admission is free. And for reservations, you can contact us at Philippine Jesuits on Facebook and Instagram for more details, and of course, if you want to reserve a slot. So we'll just take a short break again. See you later, and thank you for tuning in so far to the Jesuit Hour Vocation Promotions Edition.
Calling on all young male professionals. Do you wish to live an extraordinary life? Are you tired of the routine and mundane and long for a dynamic, adventurous, and even dangerous life? Do you wish to make your life count and hope to make an impact long after you're gone? Do you wish to live a life of service to society, to country, and to dear Mother Earth? Then you are the one we are looking for. Consider the Society of Jesus. Join the Church's gallant army and turn your world upside down. Call the Jesuits Vocations Promotions Team 426-6101, local 3406. Once again, 426-6101, local 3406.
To open our eyes and ears that we may see the face of Christ and hear His voice in our midst. For 28 years, Jesuit Communications has been promoting the Catholic faith and serving the nation through both traditional and new media. Hear us tackle national issues in light of Christian values on Usapang Kapatid, Pasakalye, and Radio Veritas. Watch our uplifting reflections on Kapet Pandasal and The Word Exposed, as well as our acclaimed TV specials. Listen to the inspiring and soothing music of Jesuit Music Ministry's original artists as you read our spiritually enriching books. To learn more about JustCom's mission of evangelization and education, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, justcom.ph. To give a face to the faceless and a voice to the voiceless, that we may recognize Christ in them and hear His story in theirs.
Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. The Jesuit Hour. Get to know the Jesuits. Discover their spirituality, their history, their ministries. The Jesuit Hour. Anything Jesuit, everything Jesuit. The Jesuit Hour.
Alright, so welcome back to the Jesuit Hour Vocation Promotions Edition. Before we continue with our program for today with Father Weyms, just like to give a shout out to all of those listening. Thank you for listening to us in Radyo Katipunan today. In particular, our friends from the Ateneo community, from JESCOM, sina Ma'am Jennifer Chua, na laging loyal sa atin dito sa program. At ang mga staff ng JESCOM Radio, especially sina Josh dito sa tsaka yung ating mga friends sa JESCOM din, sina Father Nono, of course, the director. Sorry, dapat siya nauna. Sorry, Father Nono. And ang ating mga kaibigan, sina Kuya Lester, Kuya Ray, and all of those who are assisting us. Si Ma'am Dit, of course. Also to the Ateneo community, also kay Ma'am Rica, who's also supporting us through the communications arm of the university, and all of the staff who are listening today, especially to those who are riding the e-jeep now, no, laging nakaano yung radyo katipunan sa atin. To those also who we can reach in the Marikina area, thank you for listening to us. We also like to give a shout out to all of those listening, especially to our listeners abroad. No? Maabot pa tayo ng US, Father, akalain nyo. Especially sa mga brothers natin na nagta-tertianship din, na katulad ng ginawa ninyo dati.
That's right.
Sina Brother Rico, yan yung isa sa mga sina Father Ernald.
Yes.
And of course our brothers also here, no, lalo na sa Arupe House and sa Loyola House.
Yes.
Sa mga deacons na kompleto na nag-guest dito. And also to our friends in the Loyola House of Studies and sa mga First Studies, mga theologians.
Yes.
At marami pang iba. No? Kayo, Father, may mga gusto kayong batiin in particular?
Kung nakikinig yung mommy ko and my sisters and brothers, I hope they're listening. But also, of course, our partners in the education ministry, especially yung mga schools kung saan ako nagturo in Ateneo de Davao, in Ateneo de Iloilo, of course, Ateneo de Manila. Kamusta sa inyo? And I'm glad that you're listening. Pero kamusta? And I hope to see those guys that I haven't seen. No? Like I haven't been to Davao for a long time.
Ay, talaga?
Yeah, I'd like to visit Davao and see them. Although I did give them a retreat, so I've seen some of them. Yeah, and then sa Manila naman, because I'm here, so I bump into a lot of people on campus. So, but of course, I haven't seen a lot of them. But kamusta sa inyo lahat? Yes.
Parang, uy, si Father Weyms. We were just talking about you.
Naglalakad-lakad lang.
Uy, kung pupunta kayo sa Davao, Father, sama ako. Kahit sa suitcase lang. Parang, dito lang ako sa suitcase. Since I'm also excited to be able to see Davao at one point in this.
Yes, you will. Don't worry.
It's a land of great promise. But anyway, we'll go to the second part of our program for today, and it's about your vocation story. No? So, Father, allow me to jump into the questions also. No, and you've already told us rather about your vocation story earlier. No? So, with regards to your story, could you tell us more about how your vocation started?
Yeah. Well, actually, hindi ko naman masabi where it started really. No, like a kid. No, my mom was very active in the parish. So she is a musician. So she is in the music ministry of the parish. And so because she was very active, we would go to mass every Sunday, and we would linger on. And of course, like any other kid, siguro, or like many kids, they idolize the parish priest or a young priest that is in that is in the parish. And I actually wanted to be one. And nung graduate na ako from grade school, I told my dad that I wanted to be a priest. But my dad says, no, you're too young. You cannot, don't go to the seminary. You just finish your studies first, and then you decide when you're older. And for me, I felt it was like a discouragement from my father. I felt that, that he was not too keen in allowing me to be a Jesuit. So I just put it in the back seat, and I felt that maybe it's not for me. And even like every now and then it would come out, but I would just put it in the back seat because I felt that it was not something that my father would approve of. Especially when I joined the Jesuit Volunteers, I felt that, these alternative careers, because my father is a banker and a lawyer, so these alternative careers do not appeal to him. For him, like teaching was not a real job. The real jobs are like, say, you go to banking or you be a lawyer, and so it had to take a back seat. And but then when I went into, so I joined the Jesuit Volunteers. I went into teaching, and my father did not approve also of my teaching. But sabi ko nga, I remember I would negotiate with the Lord. Parang, Lord, teaching is already alternative enough. Tama na. I mean, don't push it any further. But you feel that, He's calling you to something else. And but I also felt that my father wouldn't approve of that. So I finally just I responded to the call a bit late because I didn't wait. Pero pang ganun naman, I was able to pursue it only when my father passed on. So medyo late na nga, no? But and then that's why I tell people that vocation, the call has been there all along. And if you really want to be happy and if you want to be joyful, you just have to respond to it. I mean, you can say no to it, but it will not be a life that is full of meaning and full of joy, because it's only by responding to it that really, at least based on my experience, that I feel that you will really be happy. Yeah.
Wow.
So medyo mahaba yung pinagdaanan ko, no? Because there will be blocks along the way, no? I mean, people may not approve of it, or you may doubt your vocation and all. Many things may happen, but yun nga if the Lord wants, the Lord, I think, will help you. Just as long as there is a desire and you open yourself to it, I think the Lord will bring you to where you're supposed to be, where your vocation really is.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So,
I think
when I was listening, I remembered all those years ago, no, when I first listened to to this vocation story, and
yes.
wow. And that's I now I remember why I was so touched. Parang wow. And there was even some resistance on your part, no, Father?
Yes, that's right. Like because my father has a very big impact on me, because he did not seem not to approve it. I also tried to convince myself, That's why nga pang sinasabi ko, Lord, tama na to, no? Teaching, ayaw na nga ng dad ko ng teaching. Dadagdagan mo pa, di ba? Tama na. But no, I mean, a call is a call, and you just have to respond to it. And you want to respond to it, because that is what is gonna make you really happy. I mean, that's what your deep desire is. Really. Yeah. And
I dare say siguro it's hard to explain, but for the lack of a good term, it's a gut feel.
Yeah.
Parang kasama din yung heart and mind. Pero
Yeah.
Parang ganun kalalim.
Alam mo lang, parang yun, why, but just because, you just know it. Yeah.
Yes, regardless of parang the blocks.
Yeah. And
gosh.
you just take the risk, because I mean, I think for me, if I look at it, it's so great was the desire to be peaceful, to be happy, to respond, although you may not be conscious of it. So great is that desire to be happy and joyful, that yun yung nag-fuel sa'yo, no? Even if there are blocks along the way, even if people do not agree with you, even if there are a lot of discouragements along the way, eventually you will be able to see what it is really, clarify your deepest desire, pursue it, and eventually you I mean, for me, when the only time that I could say that yes, this is it, that without any doubt that this is my vocation, that priesthood is my vocation, was really when I was already in theology.
Oh, wow. Talaga?
Every year was doubt.
All that time.
Yes. Ako, baka marinig ng mga superior.
I'm actually curious. Kasi yung next question daw dito, yun din.
Okay, yes.
Pero
yes.
how were you able to sustain? I mean, I imagine it would be very hard, no? For
Yes.
how many years? 3 years?
Yes.
Since novitiate, tapos parang puro doubt every year until theology.
Yes. Especially philosophy was really questioning and all. I guess the clarity came when I did my regency. I had delays along the way. I was delayed for my vows. I was delayed for regency. That's why there were also doubts. Parang bang, because of these delays, you say, is this really for me? Why am I being delayed and all? Bakit parang hindi smooth sailing, But you just hang on. Why did I hang on? Actually, I remember my brother calling me once, and says, you seem to be having a difficult time. Why don't you just leave? Is it really just pride? Yes, is it pride that I'm just a statistic of the society? I mean, one who attempted and did not succeed. But I remember I told him that no, I think there is something here, but I'm not sure what it is. And so I just stayed on, sabi ko, and it was during my regency that. Because regency is really babad ka, in the apostolate,
yes.
in the ministry of the society, and I felt that the grace that I received in my regency is the passion for ministry. I think that was the grace that the Lord has given me, and I am grateful for that. Kaya nga, when I went to theology, it was the only time that I really felt this is it. This is where the Lord wants me to be, and this is where I want to be. This is where I find great joy in doing.
So rather, it wasn't as if like a project that tawag dito, you had to work for this being sustained, but it was just given.
Yes, that's right.
Pero of course, a large part of that is, I don't know what is excitement the word?
Yeah.
Kasi parang just something.
Yeah, that there is something. And you will be amazed. Upon ordination, I remember that one thing that stuck with me was the prayer of David that says, "Who am I, Lord, and what is my household, that you have carried me this far?
Oh, wow.
And want more. You want to bless me with more." Parang sabi ko nga, who am I? That the Lord has carried me this far. That's amazing. Really amazing.
I could relate. Every year na lang may doubt.
Sige lang. Yeah.
It's true. I mean, I guess it's also part of the same thing that makes this vocation so real.
Yes, yeah.
That I mean, it's something that you desire for.
Yes.
Something that is also very human.
Yes.
Na yung naalala ko po yung ano. Hindi ko alam kung napanood niyo na yung movie na Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Doon na sabi nung lalaki kay Wonder Woman, parang I wish I could tell you there was a single parang I wish I could tell you and everything could be answered, parang something like that.
Yes.
Pero hindi and I guess in that context he was talking about parang wars, the violence in the world.
Yes.
Wonder Woman, very forthright, parang very desirous.
Yes.
Anong tawag dito? I want to solve this, parang ganun. Pero valid yung sabi nung guy na, no. There isn't really something, a singular thing to answer the parang doubts or maybe problems in the world.
That's right. Yes.
Even problems within yourself.
Yes.
But at the same time, at least nung napanood ko yung movie, yun yung paganda sa movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm not saying that the vocation is a movie. Pero ang ganda lang, no? Parang maybe the way that we experience it now is...
Yes.
Well, it ain't easy, no, but at least it's good.
Yes. Because I think doubts are good in a way that I think you doubt something that you care for.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you don't care about it, no, you just don't ask anything about it. I'm the hell do I care about it? No? But if something that is important to you, something that you care about, these are the things that I think you doubt, and you want greater clarity about this and understand what it is. I think, based at least on my experience,
And I guess I dare say it's true not only for Jesuits like us, no, but
for anyone, yes,
discerning something very serious, very permanent in life. No?
That's right. Kaya sumali sila sa discernment.
Seminar. So, maganda po yung doubt. Doubt is very holy.
Yes.
Pero hindi naman maganda kung puro doubt na lang.
Oo nga
You
naman.
have to make a choice.
You have, at one point,
you have to make a
that's right.
choice.
Yeah.
Galing. Okay, tapos na tayo. So, since malapit na rin actually matapos yung
Yes.
program, Father, no?
Okay.
Laro muna tayo ng konti.
Oh my.
Ito,
Okay, yes.
I always play this game, I guess, with our guests rather. No?
Okay.
And, I guess it also serves as a parang segue to the conclusion.
Okay.
So the game is called the word association game. No?
Okay.
So I'll just say a few words, parang one word at a time, and
Okay.
without explaining, just tell me the first word that you think of when I say this word. So parang spontaneous lang.
Okay, sure, yes.
And I guess
Oh my.
example niyan parang favorite food, mga ganun. Adobo.
Okay.
Mga tipong ganun. No? Okay.
I-edit nyo naman to, no?
Well, actually, but we'll see, Father.
Okay.
We've been doing good so far. Okay. Sige. So, without explaining, just tell me the first word that you think of when I say home.
Mom.
Mami. Wala ko na eh. Okay. Community.
Fun.
Vacation.
Cold.
Cold. Mga parang abroad. Okay. Prayer.
Peace.
Mission.
Passion.
Education.
Minds. Maybe minds and hearts. Daya.
Safe pa yung mga joke lang. Ito, batchmates.
6.
6. Talaga, 6 kayo?
6 kami, yes.
Sinong kabatch? If I
Okay, si Fathers Errol, Father Hill, Father Chester, Father Coco, and si Father Bongbong who's in Cambodia. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naalala ko kasi parang kayo nga pala yun ulit nung kinikwento ni Father Chester na when you really have a batchmate, no, kahit saan man siya manggaling, oo siya sa misa mo.
Oo nga. Totoo yan. Yes. Oh yeah. You were there. That's right.
Yung parang something like, ang kwento yata nun, something like madaling araw na halos no nag-text si Father Chester.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Sige, game. But anyway, going back to the game, no.
Okay.
The first word when you think of when you hear Society of Jesus.
Jesus.
Daya.
Ano nga ba?
Oh my gosh.
Things I haven't really thought about.
Or, eto, Father. Ateneo de Iloilo.
Love.
Wow, love.
Okay. Bakit love? I don't know why.
And finally, Weyms Sanchez.
Funny.
Oh nga, actually.
I think so.
I thought you were going to say very straightforward or practical kasi lahat ng mga sagot niya very common sense eh.
Very common sense. Okay. No? Walang intriga. No?
Well, down to
kasi
earth talaga.
iniisip ko kasi yung pag hindi na kayo mag-edit.
Well, sige, Father, since already nasabi niyo na rin yung maganda actually yung last part ng talk natin kasi it really dwelt more about how to discern.
Yes.
And
yes.
I guess kung tatanungin ko po yung last question na yung advice, pakaulit lang tayo.
Yeah.
Ganito na lang. No?
Okay.
If you have any short piece of advice or maybe a talking point or discerning point to our listeners for today, discerning any kind of vocation, ano kaya yun? No? Maybe a byword or whatever.
For me, it's deepest desire.
Deepest
really,
desire.
It's difficult. For me, I really found it difficult to get in touch with my deepest desire, because it's not just any desire, but your deepest desire. But it is your deepest desire that will make you happy, and that will bring great joy in your life. And I feel that if you are in touch with your deepest desire is really what the Lord wants for you.
That's true.
Because it's the Lord, what the Lord really wants for each one of us is to be deeply joyful, that we may have the joy and that our joy may be complete, as He says. And therefore, talagang kailangan to get in touch with that deepest desire, because that is what will bring us great joy.
Yeah. It's exciting and challenging kasi parang tunog lifetime siya eh.
No, that's true. But you will get in touch with that, and that's the source of your consolations also.
Right. Grabe. Again, I'm inspired before, na-inspire ako lalo ngayon.
Talaga.
Grabe. Fuera bola, Father.
Yeah.
But thank you, Father Weyms, for joining us today for the
thank you too,
Vocation Promotions edition of the Jesuit Hour.
Yes, thank you.
Before we finally bring this program to a close, again, I would just like to pitch the talk options, talk on discerning life choices, April 24, 2019, at Corion Cafe, Metro Walk, Ortigas Center, Pasig City. So the talk is from 6 to 9 p.m. And you can go if you are very much interested in learning the art of discernment and discerning your life's or life-changing choices rather. So again, admission is free. And contact us at Philippine Jesuits on Facebook or Instagram for details and reservations. So that's it for today in the Jesuit Hour Vocation Promotions Edition. Thank you, Father Weyms, for joining us.
Thank you too. Thank you
for your insights and your time.
Yes, no problem.
And for now, again, this is your host, Brother Jasper Martir of the Society of Jesus, signing off.